My dad kicked me off the $3.4K Hawaii trip that I paid for. And give my seat to sister's fiancé. Hey Reddit, Hawaii. I'd been planning it for 6 months. Saved every bonus. Covered every booking. 4 tickets. Oceanfront suite. All inclusive. It was supposed to be a celebration. My first paid vacation for the family. Then, 2 days before the flight, Dad handed me an envelope with my name on it. No thank you. Just a printed cancellation notice. Your seat's going to. I stared at the paper, blinking. You're serious? Dad nodded like it hurt him more. Family means sacrifice. He's marrying in. It's his turn to feel welcome. Mom didn't say a word. She just folded laundry on the couch and whispered, "It's better this way." My name is Claire Jensen. And if you think this ends with me crying in my bedroom, stay tuned. Because I didn't yell. Didn't beg. Didn't even raise my voice. I just nodded once. Thanks for letting me know. Dad smiled, relieved. Like I passed some invisible test. But here's the part he didn't understand. The trip was in my name. The reservations. The upgrades. The points. All mine. He thought because I stayed quiet I'd stay small. He had no idea I was already logging into the back end of the resort's guest system. No idea I was updating the primary contact. No idea I was queuing a pending surprise for the hotel concierge. Because if Mason wanted the seat that bad, they could have it. But that view, that room, that picture-perfect itinerary. I was about to turn paradise into poetic payback. They boarded the flight without me. Dad sent a photo from the gate. All smiles. Lays in hand. Mason threw up a peace sign like he'd just landed a brand deal instead of hijacking my seat. Mom captioned it. Ohana vibes, only yellow heart. I stared at the screen. Then opened the resort's dashboard. Everything was still under my control. See, Dad never bothered to check the room, the activities, the meal credits. All connected to my email. My rewards number. My card. I didn't cancel. Not yet. Instead, I made a few subtle changes. First, the room. I downgraded the suite to a basic garden view twin. No refund. Just reassigned. Next, the excursions. The catamaran cruise. Gone. Snorkeling trip. Rebooked under my friend's name. Then the cherry on top. I edited the reservation notes. Guests have been flagged for violating hotel policies on a previous day. Please handle with discretion and confirm ID upon check-in. Was it true? No. But it wasn't illegal either. Just enough friction to remind them. I wasn't gone. I was watching. That evening, they checked into the downgraded room. No ocean view. No king bed. No welcome champagne. Mason texted me. Hey, did you mess something up at the hotel? This room's not what Dad said. I didn't reply. Instead, I posted an Instagram story. Me at a local spa, robe on, glass of sparkling cider in hand. Captioned. Sometimes the best trips are the ones you don't take. Mom viewed it. So did Dad. And Mason. He blocked me. But I wasn't done yet. Because if they wanted to use my generosity as a runway, they were about to feel what turbulence really looks like. The next morning, Dad called. Didn't text. Called. That alone told me the trip wasn't going well. I let it ring out. He left a voicemail, his voice tight, carefully controlled. Claire, the hotel says there's a charge dispute. Our room key stopped working. Can you call them? Just fix it. Fix it. Like I was their assistant. Like I hadn't been erased from my own gift. I sipped my coffee. Tapped into the resort dashboard again. Paused the room's digital access. Just a few clicks. And suddenly, the only key card they had didn't open anything. Meanwhile, on the resort's public Wi-Fi, I saw a new TripAdvisor review pop up. Written by OceanDad77. Check-in staff were rude. Room was not as expected. Total mess. I laughed. Funny how they could use my money, but not my name. Mason's Instagram was quieter now. No more shirtless beach selfies. No more mojito boomerangs. Just one blurry story of him sitting in the lobby. Captioned. Waiting. Again. Face with rolling eyes. By noon, the front desk sent an email asking me to verify the reservation ownership. I replied, the guests listed are unauthorized. I won't be covering any additional charges. Politely. Legally. And then, I forwarded the same email chain to the rewards team. Attached a note. Please block this profile from accumulating any points during their stay. This was an unapproved guest substitution. I hit send. And just like that, the perks. Gone. No lounge access. No late checkout. No free upgrades. That evening, I got a text from Mom. Just 4 words. Why are you doing this? I didn't reply. Instead, I posted a quote to my story. White background. Black letters. If sacrifice is expected, but never returned. It's not family. It's performance. I didn't name anyone. But I didn't have to. Because sometimes, justice doesn't knock loudly. Sometimes, it slips quietly into the cracks of someone else's paradise. And lets the rot speak for itself. By day 3, they weren't pretending anymore. No photos. No Aloha family captions. Just silence. The kind that hums through a group chat like a power outage. Then, I got a call from the hotel's concierge. Hi, Ms. Jensen. The guests have expressed confusion about their account. They attempted to book a couple's massage. But their resort credit is invalid. I almost felt bad. Almost. I calmly replied. They're not authorized users. If they'd like to pay out of pocket, they're welcome to. She paused. Understood. We'll inform them. Click. 2 hours later, Mason sent one final text. Long and barely punctuated. Look, I didn't ask to take your spot. Okay, they offered. And I just said, yeah, your dad made the call. Not me. You need to grow up. This is so petty. It's just a trip. Just a trip. 23 hours of overtime. 4 months of no eating out. Cutting my own birthday budget just to make this family getaway happen. But sure. Just a trip. I didn't respond. Instead, I Venmoed $10 to one of the resort staff accounts. A woman I'd spoken to when booking the note said, for your kindness, and for the stress I know my family is causing you. Because if someone had to deal with their entitlement meltdown, they deserved a little extra sunshine. Later that night, I received a call from Grandpa. He wasn't supposed to know, but somehow he always did. You're not there, he asked. Nope. He sighed. I figured something was off. Your dad's been posting sunset photos, but his face looks like someone stole his flip-flops. I smiled. You always taught me never punish with anger. Just let people live inside what they built. He chuckled. Well, they're living in it now, baby. Keep standing tall. I hung up and opened my email. The hotel survey had arrived. How was your experience at our resort? I typed just 5 words into the comment box. I didn't stay. They did. They landed home 4 days later. Sunburnt, silent, and $1,900 over budget. I know because I saw the receipt. Dad tried to put the extra charges on my card, but I'd already frozen it the day they boarded. Mom was the first to break. She called while I was folding laundry. I just don't understand why you're being so cold, Claire. I let her talk. We didn't mean to hurt you. We just thought Mason needed to feel included. You always act like everything has to be fair. I looked at the speakerphone like it was haunted. Mom. I said calmly. I didn't need it to be fair. I just needed to not be erased. She exhaled. He's family now. I nodded. And family means sacrifice, right? Silence. Then consider this mine. I said click. I opened my notes app. Started writing the post I hadn't wanted to share, but maybe it was time. I saved $31,400 to give my family their dream vacation. 2 days before departure, they gave my seat away to a man who's never paid for a single dinner. I didn't shout. I simply took back what was mine. Underneath it. Photos. My original booking receipt. The itinerary. A screenshot of the reservation change. A shot of me smiling in my quiet apartment with takeout sushi and a glass of wine. Captioned. Some trips are more peaceful when you stay home, especially when you take the peace with you. I hit post and went to bed. By morning, it had over 18,000 shares. Hundreds of comments. Women saying you're the villain in their story, but the hero in mine. Even a few wedding planners DM me. Just bookmark this as a case study in boundaries. Iconic. Mason deleted his account that afternoon. Mom texted. You're humiliating us. I replied with a single heart emoji and nothing more. Because when silence is earned, it sounds like freedom. By now, the story had taken on a life of its own. TikToks. Reddit threads. Even a podcast episode titled When the Family Mooches Off You. A Hawaiian horror story. I didn't share more. I didn't need to. The truth was already orbiting in every direction and I had receipts to keep it clean. That's when the guilt parade rolled in. Aunt Monica called first. I had no idea they did that to you, honey. You know you've always been the responsible one. Then Uncle Ray. You should have told me. I would have helped cover the trip so you could still go. Too late. Where were they when I was skipping lunches to build the fund? My sister finally called too. A voice full of venom wrapped in fake sweetness. Claire, do you feel better now? Embarrassing your own parents online. I sat at my desk, calmly organizing travel receipts. Do you feel better taking a vacation funded by someone else's sacrifice? Silence. Then she spat. You've always been dramatic. I smiled. No. I've just always kept track. Click. I opened the family chat. Everyone had gone quiet since the post, except Grandpa. He sent one message. They stole your seat. You gave them a mirror. And they still don't like the reflection. That line stayed with me. Because I wasn't out for revenge anymore. I wasn't trying to ruin anyone. I was just done being the disposable one. The you understand girl. The ATM with a polite smile. The ghostwriter of family vacations she didn't even get to attend. So, I did one final thing. I wrote a blog post. Published it anonymously. Titled, The Price of a Plane Ticket. What it costs to be the selfless daughter. It ended with this. They told me family means sacrifice. So, I stopped being their definition of family, and started being mine. It started trending within hours, and somewhere in all that noise, my silence finally echoed louder than their voices ever did. Dad showed up at my apartment. No call. No warning. Just stood there in his vacation polo. Looking like a man who'd just realized the house he built was made of matchsticks. I came to talk, he said. I didn't invite him in. Just leaned on the doorframe. He looked around like he expected to see someone else behind me. Like the old version of me might step forward and say, it's okay. I forgive you. But she wasn't home anymore. I know we made a mistake, he started. I thought giving the seat to Mason would make him feel part of the family. I didn't realize that I was part of the family too. I asked. He looked away. No, he said. That you'd make it public. I laughed. Quiet. Sharp. There it is. The truth. He wasn't here because he felt guilty. He was here because the world now saw what I had carried alone for years. You embarrassed us. He added lower now. No, I said. You embarrassed yourselves. I just stopped hiding it. His eyes hardened. Do you really think a vacation is worth tearing this family apart? I leaned closer. You tore it when you taught me I was only valuable when I gave everything away. He had no response. So I handed him a manila envelope. Inside. Printed bank statements. Proof of every dollar I'd spent. Confirmation of every change I made. A note attached. This was never a vacation. It was a test. You failed. He held it, speechless. Then I gently closed the door. Not a slam. Just done. That night, I lit a candle. Not one of my sisters. One I bought for myself. Soft vanilla, quiet flame. I sat on my balcony, watching the sky turn orange. And for the first time, I didn't ache to be understood. I was just free. A week later, I got a postcard in the mail. No return address. But I knew the handwriting. It was from my mother. We didn't raise you to be this cold. This public. This vindictive. We're hurt. Mason's embarrassed. Your father's ashamed. I hope it was worth it. I read it once. Then placed it beside my keyboard. Like a trophy. Not because I wanted the pain, but because that card finally proved they saw the fire they'd always ignored. I'd spent years being the quiet one. The responsible daughter. The one who never needed attention. Just approval. But here's the truth. Approval without respect is manipulation dressed in love. They never thought I'd push back. Never thought I'd light a match to the fantasy. But now. Their little Hawaiian getaway was being whispered about in places they couldn't control. The vacation photos. Deleted. Mason's job prospects. Quietly iced out. Word spreads faster than sunscreen on the internet. And me. I was booked to speak on a podcast about boundary setting. Then another. Then a feature in a finance magazine. How one woman took back her power and her points. I didn't ask for the spotlight. But when it hit me, I didn't run. Because this time the story was mine. And every woman who heard it. They didn't just listen. They nodded. They knew. I closed my laptop and looked out the window. No more trips. No more forced dinners. No more being the background character in their perfect little performance. This time the stage was mine. And the final act. Peace.